Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're totally stripping away the Hollywood myths and going on a pretty intense cinematic journey. You aren't just going to learn about the golden age of piracy, you're actually going to live it. We're going to experience a first-person journey right through the brutal, unforgiving hierarchy of a pirate ship. So buckle up. First things first, are you afraid of the dark? Because I want you to imagine this. You're locked in the pitch black hold of a stolen ship. Your name, your old life, your freedom, well, it was all totally erased the very moment heavily armed pirates climbed over the rail of your merchant vessel. You're terrified, just listening to the crew above you actively arguing over stolen silver. Okay, let's dive into this idea. Pity is cheap, but freedom is expensive. Some of the pirates looking down into the hold might actually look at you with something resembling pity. But let's be real, pity won't save you here. You've just been dragged into a floating world with its very own laws. And if you want to survive, you're going to have to earn your freedom starting from the absolute bottom of the barrel. Section 1. The stolen life. This is where survival at the bottom depends entirely on your physical endurance. Your new visceral reality is, frankly, miserable. You're the Swab, the cabin boy. You're spending your days literally scrubbing the deck on your hands and knees. You're emptying the buckets the men use as toilets. You're climbing the rigging until the rough ropes burn your hands, and the freezing ocean salt stings the cuts in your bleeding palms. You know, you're too young to be respected by the crew, but you're way too useful to be ignored. To put this into perspective, you are burning through 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day doing this brutal labor, and you're just trying to survive on a diet of salted beef, rum, and rock-hard ship biscuits that are entirely infested with weevils. You're constantly pumping rancid bilge water just to earn a spot to sleep on the hard wooden decks, or if you're lucky, in a canvas hammock. So forget all those romanticized myths of piracy. This is a real life of hunger, salt sores, and total exhaustion. Section 2. Trial by Fire. What happens when you enter combat? Childhood ends real quick when the cannons start firing. Because of your small size and young age, you're likely somewhere between 12 and 14 here, you are suddenly promoted to powder monkey just as a terrifying broadside naval battle begins. Now, the men don't put you in this role to protect you. They do it because someone small has to sprint between decks carrying the explosives so they don't get picked off by enemy sharpshooters. Keep the powder dry, keep it covered, and whatever you do, do not trip. This brilliantly illustrates the pure chaos of combat. You have to run from the powder magazine directly to the gun crews. The noise absolutely deafens you. Splinters are flying through the air like literal wooden knives, tearing into the men all around you. The ship is shaking like it's been struck by a giant's fist. And you cannot stop moving, because if even one stray spark hits the box in your arms, you are gone. Section 3. The Brotherhood. Earning your fair share. Miraculously, you survived the battle. The silence that follows is just thick with black smoke and the crew's cheering. You've proven yourself. You are now officially a common pirate with a real voice. You're inducted into this rough egalitarianism, swearing to be bound together as brothers in a life and death friendship, sharing alike in fortune and trouble. You get to sign the Articles of Agreement. You finally earn a share of the plunder. You can vote in council, you can argue about where to sail next, and get this, you can actually complain about the bad food without being beaten just for ruining an officer's mood. So the crucial point here is what this number represents. 600. That is the exact compensation, paid out in pieces of 8, that you're guaranteed to receive from the ship's common fund if you happen to lose your right arm in battle. Left arm, that'll get you 500. Think of it as a very early form of hazard pay. The Brotherhood takes care of its own, and that promotes this fierce, unbreakable loyalty among the crew. But hey, do not mistake this democracy for softness. If you break the strict rules against stealing from a crewmate, gambling, or bringing women aboard, you are going to face crew-sanctioned justice. You'll be tied right to the mast and whipped with a cat o' nine tails. That's a vicious whip with heavy knots specifically designed to bite into the skin. You'd better bite down hard on a lead bullet to avoid crying out in pain too, because if you do, your own crewmates will ruthlessly mock you as a nightingale. Section 4. The Enforcer. Stepping up to quartermaster. So, years pass, you've survived the rigging, you've survived the bloody gun deck, and you've really proven your loyalty.
Congratulations! The crew has just voted you into a position of immense trust and power. You are now the quartermaster. It's kind of like a humble imitation of the Roman tribune. You carry heavy new responsibilities now. You lead the violent boarding parties. You meticulously count every single stolen coin to ensure fair shares. You settle disputes between crewmates and, absolutely crucially, you ensure the captain doesn't overstep his bounds.
Now, what's really interesting about this setup is this unique dual executive system. The captain, he commands only during the battle and the chase, but you, as quartermaster, you command pretty much everything else. You distribute the food and the gold. You administer the punishments. It's a brilliant system that actively kept unchecked tyranny off the pirate ship. A wise captain literally made no decisions that his quartermaster didn't fully support. But as quartermaster, you also have some pretty chilling duties. If a crewmate commits a truly severe crime, like stealing from the hold, you are the one who must administer the ultimate punishment, marooning. You leave them on a remote, deserted island, sometimes completely stripped naked, with nothing but a keg of water and a single pistol. It's a delayed death of madness and starvation. That's exactly what happened to the famous sailor Alexander Selkirk, by the way. That single pistol shot, it's honestly a dark mercy, allowing them to end it before they totally lose their minds.
Section 5, the burden of command, becoming the captain.
We have reached the climax of your journey. The previous captain has fallen. The crew gathers together and they overwhelmingly vote for you to wear the heavy crown. You are the captain. But let's shatter that Hollywood myth right now. You are not a king. You are a temporary solution. You hold absolutely no royal authority. In fact, you eat the exact same food as the crew, you sleep in the exact same conditions, and you rule only by the continuous, ongoing consent of heavily armed, dangerous murderers. The burden of command is incredibly fragile. If you show cowardice, if you display poor tactical judgment, or if you act abusively, the crew's democratic vote will immediately tear you right back down. Hesitation literally kills out here. You must provide profit, and you can never ever show fear for even a second. And the historical record proves exactly how fragile this power was. In a general history of the pirates, we see the very real removal of Captain Charles Vane. When Vane chose to flee from a French warship, instead of fighting, his crew voted him out for cowardice right there on the spot, and they replaced him with an officer named John Rackham. Your absolute power only exists while the cannons are firing.
So why go through all this? Why endure that brutal ascension from a lowly swab all the way up to captain? Well, as pirate John Archer said right before his execution, it was born out of a desperate need to escape the absolute, often deeply abusive tyranny of regular merchant and navy captains. Piracy wasn't just theft, it was a radical movement by lower-class sailors to seize unheard-of levels of freedom and power in a world that honestly treated them like disposable cargo.
Which brings us to our final question today. You survived the dark hold, the terrifying powder magazine, the cat o' nine tails, and the bloody vote to become captain. You've achieved total freedom. But the ultimate price for this terrifying freedom is almost always a very short life. Will you end up overthrown by a mutinous crew, or will you face the hangman's noose, left to rot in an iron cage over the River Thames, just like Captain Kidd? The choice was yours, Captain. Thanks for braving this explainer with me, and I will see you next time.